We're back with some college students from the Students for Liberty Conference. So I hate to say this to you students, but you are suckers. If you pay college tuition, you're getting ripped off. All right, that's probably not fair. Some of you are learning a lot. Some will get jobs because of your education, but many of you will pay $200,000 and get little more than debt. It's the reason Dale Stevens dropped out of college and founded the website Uncollege.org. It offers people ways to learn and get ahead without college. And his book, Hack Your Education, is subtitled Ditch the Lectures, Save Tens of Thousands, and Learn More Than Your Peers Ever Will. So what do you mean, more than your peers? There's a reason people go to college.
The reason people go to college is because they're told to. That's what your parents have done and your counselors tell you to, and that's what society says that you need to do if you want to be successful in life. But that also means that you have to learn exactly what they tell you and not necessarily the things that you want to learn or interest you.
Yeah, well, I just wanted to learn comic books and about girls. I wouldn't have learned anything if I didn't have a college directing.
Maybe you would have started a comic book about girls.
And people go to your website and tell you, you helped me drop out and I'm doing better?
Absolutely, yeah. We have a community of about 15,000 people around the world who are actively doing creative things with their education instead of going to school. So there's people like Hunter Payne, who dropped out of the University of Florida and is now being an independent artist, is getting murals commissioned, things like that. Thomas Summers, who convinced MIT to let him use space at their labs to build solar-powered computers. The people who are doing interesting things with their education that are being fulfilled and being passionate, but without having to pay the high cost of college.
And you did this yourself?
I actually left school when I was 12, so I didn't go to middle school or high school. And that entire experience...
Your parents let you leave school at 12?
They weren't exactly the biggest fans of the idea, but I presented it as, hey, I'm 12. If I leave school for a year, what's the big loss? If I go back a year later, school is still going to be there.
And you even took college courses. You found you could just go to a campus and walk on and not pay?
Yeah, I found that at the local community college, professors were more than happy to have students who were genuinely interested in learning and more than happy to share their knowledge.
But I would have just goofed off.
That's okay.
Students, you have comments or questions for Dale?
Hi, my name is Heidi, and I go to school at Madonna University in Michigan, and I'm studying
where? What?
Madonna University. Yes, like the Material Girl. I'm going to school for nursing, and I have a lot of students that are going to school for pre-med or going to school for the sciences. And don't you feel like it makes sense for somebody to go to school and learn basic human anatomy and all these other classes, pathophysiology, that is sort of essential to a medical profession, or even like if you're going to study biology?
Imagine if you're going into surgery and you were given the choice of being operated on by someone who's fresh out of medical school or the nurse who'd been watching surgeries for 20 years. I would any day take the nurse. I mean, sure, there is a level of background knowledge that is handy to have when you're operating on someone, absolutely. But the idea that all of that comes in the classroom, I think, should be changed, and we should spend a lot more time being practical in the real world.
That makes sense, but at the same time, if you don't have that background knowledge and you just know what you do, sure, you've been like experiencing these things firsthand, but that doesn't mean you know what happens if you do something slightly wrong. You don't know how to fix your mistakes because you didn't get the basic technical knowledge that you would have learned in school.
And my challenge to that is the best way to learn that technical knowledge sitting in a classroom of 400 people taking introbiology, paying exorbitant amounts of money? Or could we get that knowledge in some cheaper, more efficient way?
Good question. Let's go to the next person.
Hi, I'm Ryan Jackson. I just graduated from a school in Indiana. I once witnessed an argument where a student defended her gender studies degree as just as valid as an engineering degree. And while I can't say that it's not a valid degree, it's just not the same thing. Where does that misconception come from? Is there a pinpoint source, and what can we do about it to make sure that people aren't wasting thousands of dollars on something that they're not gonna use?
The Chronicle of Higher Education did a great story last year ranking unemployment based on college majors, and the college major that had the most unemployed people was psychology. There's really...
On that note, since I majored in psychology, next question.
Hi, my name's Amy Caper, and I go to York College of Pennsylvania. Isn't your method of unschooling only really practical if you wanted to start your own business or something like that? I want to be a teacher. I have to go to school. I won't be certified to teach if I don't.
You're making an argument against the credential required for public school teaching.
Yes, I would love to drop out of college. I think it is a waste of money, honestly, but I can't. I can't teach if I don't.
Yeah. One thing you might consider is teaching at a private school.
Thank you, Dale Stevens. Coming up, drugs and drinking and Whole Foods. But before we get to that, who should be allowed to come to